She is
try to take her place.
She is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
I think one of the most stunning royals we have existing in this world. Anyway, then we bonded. He played. Shall I say this?
Yeah, I played with her balls. Welcome to the Audacity. In this episode, we're talking about
Unprecedented times. Who are we? Why are we doing this? What are we doing?
Stay tuned.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
Welcome.
this is
Welcome to our podcast, guys.
I can't not be formal. I
It's
just want to be
fine,
like,
though.
welcome. This is the Audacity podcast.
That is so seductive.
Ooh,
Welcome.
it's not that kind of podcast,
No.
but it could be.
It could be. We could
You
definitely.
never know. We're figuring things out.
We're figuring it out.
And that's actually what this episode is about.
Exactly.
We're figuring it out and we're telling you what we figured out while we're figuring it out.
Yeah. It's a process.
It is a process.
Unprecedented.
You know, that's the word on the streets today. But no,
That's the buzzword.
really, today, this episode, we're going to get to know you and talk about who we are and why we're doing this.
So a good point to start our very first episode would be, why are we doing this?
Exactly. We've spent 2 years thinking about should we do it and how would we do it
Yeah.
and why might we do it.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of pulled the plug because I think we were tired of talking about it
Exactly.
in a joking way.
Of course.
Like it was always, oh, we should start a podcast. We would be fantastic about it. Not thinking anything about how it would work.
And the logistics behind it, my goodness. If you guys even see
Surprise, surprise.
the setup that we have right now,
I'm tired.
I am exhausted.
We're 5 minutes into recording and I'm tired.
I am exhausted, and Mark hasn't taken a breath in 2 weeks of our conversation.
No, but really, if, we're both kind of type A-ish
Very
perfectionists. Yeah. So if we're going to do it, we would want to do it right. Not just for us, but also for you guys listening, just to make it more enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I had no idea this was such like a professional industry to jump into. And like, we have to keep reminding ourselves that this is what?
A hobby.
A hobby.
A hobby.
I don't really know the meaning of that word. I'm working on it.
No. I'd like to title it our passion project more than anything.
Yeah.
But talking about the difficulties of setting up a podcast, the thing was not just the logistics of it. We were diving headfirst without even knowing how to navigate our audience. We don't even know who's going to listen to this.
Exactly.
We don't know what they're going to like. We don't know what they're not going to like. First of all, we don't even know.
Hopefully us. But
hopefully. We don't even know if they like podcasts. Are we catering to the right people?
Yeah, and I mean, just for background, we're both students of communication. So things like market research and audience analysis and branding and presentation have literally been instilled in us for years.
You could tattoo that on our foreheads.
Yeah, basically, I just walk around life just like analyzing stakeholders.
Genuinely.
And figuring out who's in the audience.
Yeah.
So to sit down and think about something like coming up with a podcast, we've done so many steps like that. Then we have to sit down and figure out, okay, what are we actually talking about, which is maybe where we should have started. Oops.
Yeah. Our focus our focus was so much on the admin.
Right.
That we thought we had content, but really when we are, I think, forced into a situation where we have to talk about some topic, then we're just kind of like, okay, I don't have anything to talk about.
Exactly. But, when we do drill down into a topic, and hopefully you guys can trust us on this, we do like to be researched and informed and at least try to know what we're talking about.
We definitely do try our best to do that. We do not ever want to give uninformed, very prejudiced, I'd say, opinions.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, very rampant in the internet, and we kind of want to avoid that as much as possible.
Oh my God. Wait, we just made that our brand.
I know.
See, we can't avoid adding value. But you might like that sort of thing. So
You
keep us on our
might.
toes. Maybe we'll learn some things from you too.
Exactly.
Because we don't know what we're going to talk about in the second episode. But you know what? We have coordinated social media channels already. Follow us online.
We have a color palette and the hex codes for it.
It's something's not right when you choosing the hex codes of your color palette come before, I don't know, what are you going to talk about?
Exactly.
But we've made it this far and you're still listening, so congratulations to all of us.
That's an accomplishment, I would say. I would say that should go on our CV.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because at least I didn't expect myself to be like this, because I thought I would be more of content, like things that we can talk about. But the thing was, like a month ago, we already knew what the logo was going to look. Okay, well, not what the logo was going to look like. What we knew where we were going.
Right.
We bought a fucking mic.
Yes. Yeah.
We bought a mic. We figured out platforms and how to use those platforms. We even figured out what it takes to get sponsorships.
Exactly. If you've ever written a paper before for school, this is like the equivalent of setting up your page headings before you even know what your topic is.
Exactly. Or even setting up a reference list.
It's like the SpongeBob meme where we've just written the letter T overnight.
Duh. But no,
But this is also how our conversations go, really.
Yeah.
We start from nowhere and we actually end up somewhere, interesting.
Interesting, heavy, deep.
Yeah. Or not.
Or not.
Or light and superficial and catty. But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter because it's still valuable.
Interesting.
Relevant.
Yeah.
Well, you be the judge
You
of that.
be the
Sorry.
judge of that. We're going to use all those words as hashtags in our social media posts to increase engagement. So...
Yes. Yeah, because that's what the show will be about. We'll have some different topics every week. We'll have some common things we like to talk about. Like, I think we've made it pretty clear communication is something we're interested in.
Very much so.
But we love talking about relationships or work or traveling.
Yeah. Social media, pop culture. Pop culture is a huge part of our conversations usually.
Yeah.
Even TV shows. I guess that falls under pop
I think
culture.
so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got some cute takes to give.
Very well. I hope it's cute. I
Yeah.
hope you find it cute.
Again, your place to decide. Let us know online on our coordinated social media channels.
Yes, DM us, please. But yeah, that's why we're doing what we're doing. Is not with the aim of creating something super valuable, academia focused, but definitely something interesting, something worth listening to, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this is not meant to be like a news or a TED Talky kind of program.
Absolutely not.
But it's also not meant to be like, here's all the hot goss of the week.
Yeah, we're definitely not trying to be a drama podcast.
Yeah. So hopefully you'll find a middle ground, which is honestly, that's how a conversation with a best friend goes.
Exactly. I mean, it can be,
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
We want to get into big topics, heavy topics like racism and privilege and
appropriation.
Yeah, but we also want to talk about celebrities' nudes being leaked or
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Exactly.
Or
just complain about school.
Yeah,
Anything.
which we'll get into that. I mean, I think we're the two people who've graduated and still complain about school.
I think we should get into that. Let's give a little backstory now about how we met and where we've come from.
Okay, so let's start with me.
Mm-hmm.
As you all know, or you may not know, my name is Charmaine.
Sorry to interrupt. You guys, I wish you could see our faces right now because I'm just looking at her like this is the first time I've heard this story. I'm so interested. Because that's the support we give each other.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
And also like adding to that, we wanted this to be a video podcast because one common trait that we have is that we cannot mute our faces.
No.
And I think that is kind of like 80% of the contribution to our conversation that we have. It's very worthwhile. But anyway, getting back to who am I? I'm Charmaine. My friends call me Shar, which is why you're listening to Unprecedented podcast with Mark and Shar. But I'm from Nepal, and we currently reside as expats in Amsterdam, would you say?
I think so because you've graduated now. You've moved on.
I've moved
You're not an
on.
international student anymore.
No, I'm a working lady. Not going to disclose where I work.
Yeah.
Don't want to be doxxed.
Yeah, but she's an expat, which means she pays income taxes now. So
Yeah.
people don't hate her being here as much as they did before.
And I'm brown, so there you go.
Some balance.
That's some balance. But yes, we went to the same university. Mark, what about you?
Well, I'm still going to the same university.
Yeah.
I'm Mark. I'm 23, I think.
20 something.
I've been saying 21 lately. I just keep removing 2 years from my life. I don't know where they go. But yeah, I'm actually 23 last time I checked. I'm still in grad school now. So even I don't like to call myself a student.
No.
I'm like I'm just avoiding the rest of my life. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm an expat in training.
Officially an international resident of Amsterdam.
There you go.
There you go.
But yeah, we met at school because we studied communication.
We have to stop calling it school. We have to start calling it university.
Uni.
Uni.
Sorry for the
Confusion.
international audience at uni.
Uni.
Yeah. Are we plugging the uni at all?
No.
They don't really deserve it.
I don't think it's legal.
Let's just say it was a difficult program.
It was
And a very rigorous and prestigious program.
very rigorous, very prestigious, very academics
Exactly, yeah.
focused, but very relevant.
Definitely, especially today. Still very relevant.
Very versatile. In the academic front, I think it's one of the best universities. I mean, we don't want to plug it, but we have to say it. Academically,
Yeah.
it's number one for a reason.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah,
On 2 different rankings.
on to different
Oops.
rankings. So a little bit of a boastful situation there, but
Yeah.
we can't help be proud. Honestly,
I think
we
and
can't.
we should be. We've worked really hard for that degree. We've done a lot of work. So we
lot.
can be proud of it.
We can be.
In fact, I always love to make the joke. Before we got here, it was actually ranked number 2. And then you know who showed up? Mark and Shar. there goes their rating. I'm not saying anything, but what I've said you can reflect on.
Yeah. I mean, we're not saying, correlation leads to causation, but, there is a correlation.
Definitely. So no, you're gonna get our views on life mixed with some actual research in social science and communication
Yeah.
and in philosophy that we've learned and worked on and researched together.
Yeah. So back to how we met.
Fresh little teenagers.
Fresh little teenagers, 18-year-olds navigating nightlife.
Yeah, I was 20, but
Okay. I was 18.
fresh little full-grown adult babies.
No, but so giving you a little bit of I wouldn't say a backstory, but a little bit of a context, I'd say.
Yeah, don't tiptoe around it.
Yeah.
She thought I hated her.
No, I wanted to start with entry week and what that means.
She thought I hated her. Tell them why.
Okay. Let's start from the very beginning. So our university does this orientation week that we know as entry week. And it's like this fun little week where we get to know the university, where we get to know each other. We're put in groups of random ass students from our batch.
Little families with your students.
Yeah,
And then you have 2 older students showing you around, like mom and dad.
Yeah, pretty
Or
much.
2 moms and 2 dads.
Yeah.
I don't like how you took a pause at that.
No, I had to really connect that. I was like, wait, I had a guy and a girl.
It is. I mean, I also had a very
No. But I totally get what you mean. So that was that. But in one of the days of the orientation week, we were in a lecture hall where they were gonna, I don't know, tell us something about something or the other, as it happens in orientation week. And I said, "Hi, Mark," or like, "Hi, I'm Charmaine."
Oh God. I don't really remember this, so I'm listening to the story in real time with you guys.
I remember it so well. Mark was wearing a pink polo shirt and khaki pants. And I'm like, "Hi, I'm Charmaine." And he's like, "I'm Mark." And then he turned away. I'm like, this bitch. Like, the attitude for no fucking reason. Shut the fuck up. So I thought he hated me, but...
So the backstory to the backstory, maybe.
Yeah.
we both, moved here straight from home.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time, living on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Europe by myself. I don't know a single person on the entire continent.
Mm-hmm.
And I just decided on the plane ride over, Mark, you need to like push yourself to make friends, meet a lot of people, be really like accommodating and open so everyone will like you.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was very naive me thinking the only way I'll survive here is if I make a lot of friends right away.
Not the right city to do it.
And well, that's a different topic. But that mindset to me took so much energy of trying to like manage the impression I would give off and try to like network as wide as possible and meet so many people. And apparently that came off as kind of
Bitchy.
That's a nice way to put it.
No.
But it really, like, that was the outside appearance, but the inside was just like this scared little boy on his own thinking like, if I don't make friends, I'm going to be alone in this continent.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a good headspace, obviously.
No, it's not. It took up so much effort, which is why I couldn't actually just be my genuine self.
Yeah. Yeah. But then, miraculously, we were in the same class for the first semester.
And thank God at that. Yeah.
Right. And we didn't speak for like what, half of the semester, I'd say. I mean, we'd just sit across each other. He was just a guy in my class. I was just a girl in his class.
Yeah. Just a guy and a girl sitting in a class,
looking at each other,
trying to get a passing grade, making fun of someone else in the room with us.
And the tutor. Oh my God. Let's not even get into it.
Yeah.
The first tutor we had. Anyway. Then moving on, it was Halloween. And I think it was one of the first times that we were experiencing the Amsterdam nightlife.
Well, yeah, and Halloween is mostly an American holiday.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
and if you haven't, okay, when I listen to, let's say, America, okay, this is no shade, genuinely no shade. I'm saying it in the most plainest, most unoffensive, is that a word, or inoffensive?
I'll decide.
Okay. Way possible. When American kids go to college and they have to wait until 21 to party.
Yeah.
And then they think that going to frat houses and house party is parties. They really haven't experienced what partying is.
The poor sons of bitches.
Like,
I know.
until they come to Amsterdam, because that is when the party, like, that's where party kind of originated, I feel. Okay, that is a lie. Please Google that. Party did not originate from Amsterdam.
The first party held here with William of Orange in 1750 whatever. Napoleon was raving in the corner. No, it's true though. Me, as one of those Americans coming here, I've only watched scenes of like universities in movies before, and it's that frat party with like a red Solo cup and a drunk person on the lawn. That I don't know what's wrong with some of these people. That's not impressive.
That is not impressive.
You know what is impressive? Like our university renting out like the largest club in the country, and having a very exclusive student party there on the week before school starts.
The week before school starts, and not just one club. They rented out 3 clubs that you could bounce from, like one to one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So cash.
Very cash. Very, dare I say, encouraged.
But also, if that's also not an intimidating opportunity.
Yeah.
For a fresh student. Because I didn't drink before I got here. I wasn't old enough in the States. And here all of a sudden I'm with my international friends who've been drinking since they were 13 years old. No shade, but...
Okay, I hadn't because I wasn't allowed. Like, I was only allowed, like, let's say very mild, like wine, champagne. That do barely. I had just turned 18.
Yeah.
So.
And then you get here and uni gives you a bottle opener as part of your orientation package.
Bottle opener. Okay, you know what?
And a lighter too, I think.
And a condom.
God, I sometimes I love the Dutch. It's rare, but sometimes
they really do the most. But anyway, so we were at this party, and the thing was, so the concept of pre-drinking for me did not exist, because obviously this was one of the biggest parties I'd ever attended, and one of the first parties I've ever attended. But Mark...
Again, I have no memory of the beginning.
But so I arrived with a couple of my friends, our friends there.
Yeah. See, I don't know how I ended up there. I just know... I know I was there.
Yeah.
I know what happened when I was there.
No, but he arrived very lit.
I love it. Yeah, it's not just, I got there. I arrived like with
He-
a entourage.
Entourage arrived. And let's just say we looked fabulous.
Oh my gosh.
We looked
adorable.
adorable. Like as these little like teenagers, we were.
I was 20.
Your honorary.
My liver was 13 though. That's the point.
Jesus Christ, our livers. Let's not even go there.
Anyways, I've arrived. We're there together. We're stunning.
And we are bonding like crazy.
And we're drunk.
We're drunk out of our tits.
Mm-hmm.
He was dressed like a sailor. I was drinking like a sailor.
We were cursing like sailors.
Cursing like a sailor. And two incidences from that night. One was, where is Will?
Oh my goodness. Me and my young little gay baby phase, Grindr was a new exciting world to explore.
Yeah.
And this guy must have just said hi to me or something. Are you at the party?
Yeah.
And then we were jointly fixated on him all night long, just shouting out his name, trying to find him.
We were bounty hunting him.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah. I think maybe just one stop short of like going up to people and interrogating them. Do you know where Will is? I don't know who Will is. We hadn't even talked. He just said hi to me on a gay dating app.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we need to go find my husband right now. He's at this party.
And we were shouting, Will.
Fast forward to the end of the story. We didn't meet Will. Mm-hmm. Will might not even exist.
Will might have been a figment of our imagination.
I actually have an aversion to Wills after that night.
Have you ever met a Will after that?
I think my cousin's named Will.
The only Will I know is the king. Isn't he Will?
You mean William of Orange, who had the first rave in the outskirts of Amsterdam in 1750?
No, wait. What's the current king's name?
Willem?
He's a Will.
There you go.
He's a Will.
Still not the one I was looking for.
But
Maxima, watch out.
Maxima. Oh, no offense to any of the the royal family of this country. We love this country a lot. Mm-hmm.
No, she's stunning. I couldn't even try to take her place.
She is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
I think one of the most stunning royals we have existing in this world. Anyway, then we bonded. He played. Shall I say this?
Yeah, I played with her balls.
Okay, before you think more of that, it meant, so I was carrying this purse and it had a furry pom-pom keychain on it. This man, my best friend, Mark.
That's when it happened for us. That's when best friend happened. They were just the most fascinating thing in the world. I was like a cross between a baby and a kitten, and it was just soft, fluffy, and dangling.
Yeah.
And I think I was probably sad that we didn't meet Will.
No.
So I needed some ball to play with that night.
And it wasn't like, he was carrying my purse in his hand. He was on the ground, knelt at my hip level.
And then I think it just became part of the gag too. Like it was cracking both of us up.
Yeah, and
we couldn't stop doing it.
We couldn't stop. It was insane. And I think that's how our friendship really, really started.
Yeah.
And it's come to a full circle after countless of clubs, countless drinks, countless balls.
Countless Wills, plenty of exams, plenty of brunches.
Oh my goodness.
Some travel.
Although we'd like
friends
more.
And enemies. One coronavirus.
One pandemic later, we're here.
And now we're here retelling you the story.
We're telling you the story, and it's very interesting to us. I don't know if it's actually interesting to like a third party listening to it.
Yeah, I mean, I love, I think really good friends, when you meet them, are really good friends because they have some interesting origin story. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Especially with uni friends.
I know.
Like, yes, we were just placed in the same group together, and that's probably why we still know each other.
Yeah.
But there was a lot more behind the scenes. Yeah. So now you know a bit about who we are, but let's tell them a bit about who the podcast is. What is the Audacity?
The Audacity. Ooh.
No, the Audacity of this week is things being unprecedented.
And how much we despise the word
Yeah.
unprecedented.
Yeah, which is why it's the tagline of our podcast.
Very fitting. But we want to talk about why this podcast is called unprecedented.
Yeah.
It's kind of a buzzword.
Well, it is. It's the word of 2020.
It is.
I think that will be like the YouTube rewind. Instead of, how they have all the influencers come and do backflips, it's just going to be the word unprecedented for
20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Me too.
It would be better than
It
whatever.
would be the lightest thing you could watch on TV in a while.
Or better than whatever they pulled last year. So that would have the most views and most likes.
Yeah, but no, really, like that is the buzzword. Everything which happens is unprecedented. The pandemic, the virus, racial protests, political turmoil.
I mean, how many emails have you crafted that started with in these unprecedented times?
Exactly. I hope this email finds you well, even though our world is crumbling as we know it.
Also, no email in this world has ever found me well.
Also, you're only writing that when you know they're going to be unwell by receiving your email.
Ooh. Maybe my employer should know about this.
The audacity of you to even write that
The
in
audacity.
an email. But really, I don't think so many things which are happening right now are unprecedented.
Absolutely.
Have you not been paying attention to the state of the world leading up to this?
Have you not been paying attention to the state of the world? Or have you forgotten who the chosen president of the free democratic world is?
Yeah. I would have never thought that hiring an actor, failed businessman, child abuser, can I say that? It's true, right?
A rapist.
Yeah, there we go. To be the leader of the free world, I would have never thought that would coincide with hundreds of thousands of people dying, unnecessarily because of a poorly managed virus. That is so unprecedented.
Who'da thunk?
Yeah, so that's basically the point. That's not unprecedented.
Absolutely not.
You could have put 2 and 3 together before this started.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it shows very clearly that it's not unprecedented. You maybe just haven't been prepared.
Or paying attention.
Yeah.
Which is why we think that unprecedented is not a suitable enough word for every news article that there is in 2020.
I think, we're talking about what's happening in America with the president right now, and unprecedented kind of lets him off the hook.
Oh,
These are not unprecedented consequences. These are evil consequences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then it's really hard to take such a serious issue, which is a lot of people dying, and then, to kind of be so light about how ironic it is to use the word.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is, and that's just kind of part of 2020, treating such humongously serious topics with like, oh, it's just the crazy happening of this month.
It's the remix.
I mean, I have this good friend, and we love to play this game of seeing who can remember more things that have happened this year, more terrible things that have happened this year. And it's almost fun. It's like, do you remember when Australia was on fire? Oh my God, yeah, January, good times. Or how about when we almost started World War III with Iran? Oh, February, things were so much simpler then.
Things were so much simpler when Kim Jong-un faked his own death.
Oh, although the attention.
Ooh. Isn't that so millennial of him?
So not so precedented. Okay. Very precedented.
Very precedented.
Yeah. And again, like that is, I think that's maybe one way people are coping with everything that's happening this year is turning it into a newspaper headline. And it's all centered around that stupid word.
Unprecedented.
Yeah. And here we are kind of touting it around like it means nothing. But another example where this comes up is with the Black Lives Matter movement happening right now. Oh my gosh, racial protests and injustice. This is such an unprecedented occurrence. And then it's just really hard because a lot of people are either not taught about it or like to remember it or like to pretend it's so far in the past. So then if we have a problem today, what is it? It's unprecedented. No, it's not. You're just not paying attention or not remembering.
It's unprecedented also because the media kind of frames it as it happened.
Yeah, I don't mean to blame people so much. I really want to focus this anger on the media.
Yeah.
Well, and okay, here's some social science theory. This is like a coping mechanism when you have to deal with such an uncertain, chaotic world. That's just how your brain can make sense of it. Just
Yeah.
it's undescribable, it's unprecedented, it's never happened before.
It's never happened before.
Except I think when you do that, you take away the fact that it has happened before. We've made mistakes. We should learn from them. We should be more prepared for stuff like this.
But isn't it like just human nature to
It is.
live in human denial?
Oh, it is. So I don't think people are wrong for using it as a coping mechanism, but I definitely think the media should be drawing more parallels to the past or putting on more blame and accusations than just writing things off.
Yeah. And they should be neutral.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
that's not
Yeah.
because that's not what we're seeing.
If 3 years of studying communication in the media has taught us anything, is that that's a fever dream.
That is, absolutely. I don't have to go to journalism school to even, analyze that.
But people, I'm really talking about the average person here, maybe doesn't know that or likes to forget it. And that's the problem of having such a polarized media.
But I think in today's world, that's what we've become, or at least this generation and perhaps the generation before us, is that we cannot be gray. Everything has to be black and white.
Yeah. The thing I love about Gen Zers is that they don't really buy into that.
No.
They're so informed. They're so skeptical, even to the point of being cynical, but in a positive way that millennials aren't. Like, millennial cynicism is just like, I'm going to have a glass of wine and pout.
Yeah.
Gen Z cynicism will be like, I'm going to throw a bottle of wine and protest.
Gen Zers are very practical. Not only are they practical, they're very realistic.
Right.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And for millennials, it's like, pizza and fries before guys, sort of thing. No shade to millennials. I mean, most of my cousins are millennials.
Oh, absolutely. And here we are kind of sitting stuck between the two.
We're cusp babies.
I will drink that bottle of wine on the couch, but I will still, tweet about the protest and educate my friends who don't know about it.
Yeah. And I think that is, we can have a whole episode dedicated to the struggles of being a cusp baby.
Absolutely.
Although that probably is a very first world problem, but
so we'll schedule that with the privilege episode.
No, but for real, I think even being a cusp baby in these unprecedented times, let's say these challenging times, or very
oh my god, that's such a better word already.
In these very complicated times,
absolutely,
it becomes, I think, a sort of identity crisis.
Yeah, that we're all individually having and collectively having, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
that's 2 levels of stress to feel right now.
And that is unprecedented.
Especially in most of our modern lives. In most of the people who are living right now, that is the unprecedented bit. Having to deal with all of it, not all of it in each part, but all of it at once.
All of it at once. And also, exactly, and in the internet amplifies it because we have so much information.
Yeah, that's the thing. We can compare the pandemic to the last one with the Spanish flu, and we can compare the Black Lives Matter movement right now with the civil rights movement of the 60s, but neither of them had Facebook.
No.
Neither of them had 24-hour news cable networks.
Neither of them also had Twitter, which is another bubble of its own. I mean, Facebook and news, you can say they amplify agendas. They I don't know, encourage propaganda. But Twitter is so, I don't even know what. Like, I feel like our Twitter feeds would be like very much what we think like. And that kind of makes us live in a bubble. And we think that's the real world. When in fact it's not. The real world is very much different. Yeah,
and it's impossible. Obviously, you can stay skeptical and stay curious about your media consumption, but it's impossible to like always remember.
No, it's impossible to filter it out because it won't let you filter it out.
How do you filter out if you're within the bubble?
Exactly.
You can't.
And what bubble are you in?
Exactly.
How do you even know?
You can't.
You can't.
Not yet, at least. Either we can't comprehend how to exist in this new media world, and also all these media companies are letting us down.
Yeah.
By not making it kind of clearer where the boundaries are, where the positions are, how they're targeting us.
Yeah. And that is unprecedented.
That is also, there we go.
There we go.
This is becoming like a vocabulary lesson. When are you allowed to use this word? Surprise, not that often.
Not that often.
Although I know some other people who maybe shouldn't be using this word because what else is quite unprecedented to be doing right now?
Oh, do you mean making a podcast?
Who would have thought that like two pretty standard but also pretty great cusp babies that have interesting things to say but that are not the most.
Yeah, like no Nobel Prize winning shit that comes out of our mouth.
Exactly. Yeah, you might get some good nuggets, but we're not, debunking any massive theories here.
I'm sorry for that snort, whoever. If you're listening with earphones on, I apologize profusely.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you like some of our ASMR moments if you have the earphones on. I hope you can hear that. Your nails are beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
So all this shit that's going on right now is very not unprecedented of us.
No.
We were just bored friends who bought cheap mics because they were on discount and spent an entire month planning out our podcast because we're perfectionists.
Figuring out the color palette, the logo design, the fonts.
Yeah. And here we are talking about the audacity that we have.
The audacity we have.
To call things, to call our show unprecedented.
And the audacity.
It's a 2-for-1.
My goodness. Yeah, this might not make a lot of sense, but I think we're making sense.
I think I'm still following, and I don't really know where we're going, so that's great. Hopefully you all at home are following too. And hopefully you've enjoyed this episode.
If you've especially enjoyed this episode, and if you are Oatly.
Shout out to Oatly. We want you as our sponsor so badly.
Oh my God.
If everyone could subtweet or retweet this and tag Oatly in it.
That would be fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
You guys are...
Well, they're actually having like a little PR crisis moment right now.
We could help them.
Oatly, we're on the way.
No, but for real, Oatly's like, this is not even sponsored content, but I think as like heavy dairy consumers, Oatly's like one of the brands that we consume the most.
So this is a moment where I wish this was a video podcast because you just need to see my face looking at her like, where are we going with this? Oh.
That is the motto of my life. Where are we going with this?
And that's a more appropriate motto of our podcast, but I think we're going to stick with the audacity. An unprecedented podcast with Mark and Shar. Yeah, so if you've enjoyed what you've heard in this episode, stay tuned because next week we'll be giving some tips about working from home, some other ways life has had to be adjusted this year, and maybe some more tidbits about us. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe some things about our personal lives, maybe. But mostly, yeah. Yeah,
mostly. You can find out a lot more, though, if you check us out online. We worked really hard to get a coordinated social media, so you can find us at audacity.fm.
And that's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
All over the place.
All over the place.
And wherever you're listening to now, thank you very much. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review. It would really help our growth. And yeah, share this with your friends and share this with your enemies. It'd be good for them to learn how to communicate better.
It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Google
Podcasts.
A few other places.
We're
just trying to be everywhere for everyone.
Everything is linked on our Linktree.
Okay. Yes, check that out, especially Linktree at audacity.fm. Thank you very much. We've had fun. Hopefully you've had fun. Thanks for listening.
A lot of fun. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.